Hi, everyone. It's Deborah and Kenna Lindsay, and we have our show. Which did you come up with a name? You.
There were a lot of suggestions.
Okay. And what were they?
That is a really good question.
All right. So we don't have a name yet for our show, but it's about body positivity, art and design, generational healing, and today we're actually going to be talking about mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
And cellulite. But I have a lot to say about this topic, and I'm hoping that we can actually make a program out of this. So as you can see, today I'm at Kenna's place.
Yes.
My car is in the shop. She came to get me, and so we're like, let's just get this done. And we actually had a lot of calls or comments about what I had said last week, which was mental hula hoops. Another friend had said mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about.
Yeah, kind of like the mental gymnastics of shame that you go through before you're put into a situation where you're kind of putting yourself out there as in a situation that you might have anxieties about your body, or there could be some kind of negative experience. Also, I'm Kenna Lindsay. This is Deborah Lindsay.
I forgot to do that. I just went right into it. Thank you.
We're a little out of it today.
You're the CEO of KennaShop, and I am a sustainable business coach and so much more. And maybe next week I'll have something to share with everybody. But so I felt like it was something that I wanted to talk just a little bit more about, because we had brought up having to go to a pool party and wear a bathing suit, and that there was this, whole conversation that goes in your mind before heading to something like that. It's really where you're putting yourself into a vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
And getting into a bathing suit and then going into a crowd is considered vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
For myself, it's particularly around what I consider like my deepest, darkest secret, which is that I have cellulite.
Right, which is not a normal body thing at all that any other women have.
I know. I looked that up today, and apparently it is a phenomenon that is 80 to 90% of people have cellulite. Mostly women, because there's a relationship to cellulite and estrogen. And but still, I have this feeling that the dog is scooting right there. Thanks for that, Ludo.
We're on a roll today.
So I have this feeling that, that mine is exaggerated more than anybody's, that it's something that, when people see it, that they'll diminish my standing in the community or something, just like crazy around it.
Yeah, those anxieties really put you in the very center, and it's like there is no one that is worse than you in that moment in terms of cellulite, in terms of body fat. It really is like it kind of creates this narrow, like, I am the center of the universe in the worst possible way.
That's true. Right? And I hate that idea. Because I like to be in the center of the universe and be the best part of the party, as people know about me. But the other thing is that I was really conditioned at a young age to not love my body and not love how I was built.
I think like many of us, many women especially, and that's like part of this, like, me and you talking is like how that can often be passed down by mothers. So I know that this is something that, was passed down via the family and via society. And
so, full disclosure, one of the things that my mom did, and I recall that I was maybe 12, maybe 13, and I would go to, to have like electric treatment on my legs to get rid of cellulite. She would take me to, the gym, and I would stand on one of those things, the bands that went around your ass to just shake off the cellulite. And so there was clearly a message when I was, at a young, developing age, that was like the worst thing that I had to get rid of.
And like even now, there's still like they sell body scrubs that are supposed to get rid of cellulite. They sell like little squeezing neck things that are supposed to get rid of like your whatever. Like there's still that kind of deep fear. And I think that cellulite really is kind of a perfect storm of that. Like,
okay, but I want to say, like, it feels to me that this is a war against women. You know, women have estrogen, and that gives cellulite sometimes, or a lot of times, and it's just like, damn it, why have we accepted this? Why don't we just love our thighs? I remember that somebody had said that they called their, you know, their legs or their thighs the aunties. You know, it's like they're aunties, like they're loving women in their lives who are just supporting them.
Aww.
And I think that that's a really sweet message. Kenna, you said something to me earlier, by the way, just a hot tip. Kenna's eyes look amazing. She can't actually show you. She's got pink mascara and sparkles on, which I can really see, and they're fabulous. Do you want to plug? No, we won't do that. But if you want to know what company made them, you can text her later. Not her eyelashes, but the mascara. So you don't.
What? I don't
hate your cellulite.
No.
It's not a thing.
No.
Generational healing at its best.
Yes. Well, so I think, you know, I used to, and that's part of my journey. And I honestly, like, I was trying to think about it. You were like, oh, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the shame and cellulite and stuff like that. Because I don't really have that anxiety anymore. And I think part of it is because I saw so many women struggling with it. And I was like, literally, if this is something, it's that kind of combating that I'm the center of the terrible universe, right? It's. I love
that.
Yeah. Well, it's combating that, and it's like, this is something that so many women have, and like, as someone that is attracted to women as well, it's not something that I find unattractive.
Right.
So it's like, if I can put myself into the mindset of so many other women have this, and I don't personally find it unattractive, then it is entirely plausible and likely that it doesn't bother people that find me attractive or are looking at me or whatever. And even if it does, then those people aren't the kind of people that I respect. And I think that is also what that comes down to, where it's like, if someone has a problem with the way that you look or the way your body is, your cellulite, whatever, then they aren't someone that you want to be spending time with or you want to be around in general. Why would you respect their opinion? So I guess, yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, I have cellulite, and
this is why she's so great. Listen to that.
Okay. But yeah, it's just not something that I think I have anymore, because I just realized, like, through lots of therapy, that it doesn't matter
right
to me.
Yeah. And what's interesting, you know, and I'm sure we'll get comments from Grandma on this, is that I don't think I ever heard my mom disparage her own body. You know, like, there wasn't a message that she, you know, she might say something like, oh, you know, I got to lose some weight, and she might be on a diet, but she never did any self-talk about her own body that I can recall.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got a lot of cellulite. And if you look at her body, I have her body.
Right.
In terms of her legs.
Right.
I'm taller than her. But, you know, which is great.
The rest of us got the short gene.
Yes. But she's got a lot of cellulite on her legs. I got that too. I think I've seen pictures of my dad's sisters who were built just like me.
Right.
And so there is a generational thing there, an ancestry thing, genetics, that's the word I was looking for. But she didn't disparage. She didn't say something like that.
Right.
Did I ever talk to you badly about your body? Is that something we want to comment
about? Like, so what do you mean? So in relation to, like, how your mom negative self-talked, did you negative self-talk, or was it?
I know that I negative self-talk.
Right.
You know, I know that I, you know, was very obsessed with trying to lose weight. I don't know if I did more than that. Did you?
Let me see. I mean, the thing was, I was getting it from all angles. You know, yeah. It was your anxiety about your body. While you were trying to teach me how to love myself, I was also getting it from, you know, strangers on the street, from my grandma, from teachers, from friends, from whatever. So there really is that, like, you know, even if your mother wasn't negatively self-talking and you weren't getting it that way,
right,
we are conditioned to shame.
right.
So that's kind of like, and I think going back to the mental gymnastics of shame, I think that they have a purpose and that they are, you know, ingrained in us, and specifically women.
Yeah.
But
conditioned for shame. Isn't that terrible? And the negative self-talk does start and get to us from a lot of different angles.
Right. And I think that kind of like, even if it was never like, you never said it to me, right? It was still something that I heard. Right.
Yes.
But like, even like, and then even if your mom never said it about herself, you still got it in different ways. So I think that just shows how pervasive it is, and how impactful that is for everyone. Those gymnastics of shame. Right.
Because like you, as a young girl, I got it from other ways as well.
Right.
You know, I can remember walking down a beach with my brother, and there was a fairly slender man walking with a roundish woman.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother just like, why would he be with her?
Yeah.
You know, I was at a young age, and you're looking at that body type and you're going, oh, that body type is not okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I kind of look like that body type.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that is another example of, right, like my boyfriend is relatively slender or muscular. Like he's not heavy like I am. Mm-hmm. Right. And so one of the, while I may not have, you know, the gymnastics of shame around my cellulite, I definitely do have it similarly to that woman and her boyfriend. Right. Of like, well, what do people think about this? Like, oh, you know, maybe I am too this way, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, why do people think I'm with him, blah, blah. But ultimately, when combating that story in your head, I mean, I don't really know how to say, like, other than just being like, okay, like listening to the voice. Okay, I hear you. I hear your anxiety. I know that I'm experiencing this. Mm-hmm. You are wrong. Mm-hmm. You're wrong. Like this voice in my head is wrong. And it is, and I get very into my anti-capitalist mental state where it's like, and my shame and my hating myself benefits the wealthy white men who run makeup industries and diet industries. And I want to spite them and love myself. And
what a revolutionary idea. Awesome. Also, Kenna, the concept of shame is something we're probably going to talk about a lot in the future.
Yeah.
You were very artistic at an early age, and I recall where you put an image to what shame looked like for you. It was really kind of like this overwhelming black, you know,
it was like a skeleton monster. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but yeah, I think shame is it's the main force behind a lot of people's, you know, falling into eating disorders, falling into depression on their bodies. It's also a main force for recovery, and for your journey of loving yourself.
And I just want to say that what I was going to say about the black, it was like darkness, you know, that's what I meant.
So it was like
just wanted to be clear, you know, on that part, you know, that it was like a dark, shadowy kind of figure.
Yeah.
And it was kind of coming and wrapping itself around. And I think that the beating back of that entity that feels like it can come in and wrap itself around you and get into your mind and all of the places, that you have to do the mental gymnastics to push it back. And you need to pull out the light and the truth and the honesty and the realness from yourself to shine a light on that stuff.
And I think that is, and like, yes, 100%. And I think that it's a lot easier said than done. And that when you can't, you don't need to beat yourself up for that or fall further into shame for not meeting your standards of loving yourself. I think that legitimately, because that's the thing, is like, oh, I'm having this shameful moment. I'm so stupid. Why can't I love myself? Like now I'm having more shame. It's a journey, and I still have a hard time with my body sometimes. Everyone does. So just, it's okay.
But we do encourage you, as we're in the final stages of the summer, to get into your bathing suit and walk around that pool, that beach, that river, that whatever it is that you're going to be, or not.
Or your own house.
Or your own house.
I mean, that's the thing, is like getting comfortable with yourself. Feeling like if you're feeling shame in your body when you're alone, deal with yourself first before
Good
you
advice.
are dealing with others. Because when you're comfortable with yourself and not feeling shame from yourself, it's going to be easier.
Nice. Good advice.
Thank you. I'm very smart.
You are, you are very smart. Okay. Do we have anything else to wrap up?
This has been unhinged.
A little bit weird show, but I think we got the message across. Next time, we probably should be in separate rooms like we usually are. Kenna, and definitely the dog needs to stay in his cage. But it's been lovely talking with you.
It's been lovely.
Thank you for helping me with my car today.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you for listening. Feel free to put your comments below. We love to hear what you're talking about and what comes up from us discussing this. Yeah. You're also welcome to message us if you need to, talk to somebody that you, I don't know.
Want to share your experience or anything. Both of us are available to be contacted on either my Instagram, kenna.shop.insta, or my mom on deborahlindsay.com. Always feel free to reach out. Always feel free to ask us to talk about something else or bring up another question. We love to hear from our people. So
yeah, and we got a lot to talk about. So stay with us. We'll be back next week. We air around noontime on West Coast time on Thursdays. So love yourself over the weekend, and we'll be back.
All right. Bye, guys.